In 4 years, I've achieved this, and I want literally the same exact thing to happen to you. And all of this because of learning languages. And so, if you don't know who am I, I'm Ivan, and I help language learners go from 8 hours of TikTok daily to 8 hours of language learning daily. And so, you can imagine that this guy right here, I don't know if you can see it good, but whatever, watches TikTok a lot, and this guy here doesn't really watch TikTok that much. And so, you already know how to learn languages. Let's get you to actually do the work. And so the 4 points that we're going to be talking about today is your first 4 hours on the morning are the most enjoyable. Do also enjoyable study, but like after. It doesn't matter how fast it is. Learning languages with shorts is like, well, not really that efficient. And how to study when you don't want to. So, cheers. The first point, your first 4 hours in the morning are the most enjoyable. Get advantage of this undeniable truth. So, what I mean by this is why are they most enjoyable, and why are they also the most efficient ones? So your first 4 hours in the morning are the most efficient first because literally you have not done anything on the day. You have not literally watched TikTok. You are not thinking about anything, or maybe you're thinking about something that you have to do. That's fine. But like still, you're kind of like in this state in which nothing can bother you that much. And that's why doing the most difficult tasks first thing on the morning is literally the most important thing that you could do. Why? Because if you don't do it, then you will say, okay, I'm going to do them after I do some of my more enjoyable type of study, which in the case of language learning, that is maybe watching a series, that is maybe watching YouTube, right? But like, believe me, if you want to actually get some progress, if you want to actually be able to like do things that are difficult, enjoy things that are difficult, you need to do them first thing on the morning because your mental state is like, bro, you're literally another human being whenever you wake up. And then the problem is that after you wake up, you start watching TikTok, you start thinking about the clothing that you're going to pick for, I don't know, going to university. You're starting to think about, bro, I don't know. You start to think about very stupid things, okay? And because you start thinking about all of these things, maybe you even eat, maybe you even get breakfast, because you start getting all of this action into your brain, your dopamine levels start literally doing something like this. And they get in, and they basically stuck in here at the most, like, I don't know, high level, if you could say it like that. But like in reality, your dopamine levels, if you don't do anything on the morning, are in here. And these are the levels in which you can enjoy things like reading, you can enjoy things like basically just studying the sentences that are the most efficient, maybe doing Anki, right? Like, you know for a fact that if you do something first thing in the morning, you are just going to be way more efficient. And I will say that if you can like extend this to like the first 4 hours of your morning, basically you're just going to be way more efficient, right? That is just how it works usually. Do also enjoyable study, but like after. And so enjoyable study should not go into your efficient hours, as we said. Your first 4 to 3 hours, maybe maybe right now you're not able to do like 5 hours. It's fine. It's fine. But like at least make sure that you have 2 hours or 1 hour of really efficient study, and then after that you do the study that you like. So basically what I did before this, right now you have like 2 to 3 hours. Yeah, more or less 2 to 3 hours. I'm trying to get it to like 4, but like yeah, I have like 2 to 3 hours of really efficient study, really efficient work. And then after that, I did the type of study that I really enjoy lots, right? And so that is basically just watching series. That is basically just watching anime videos. You already know the drill, right? I don't need to tell you the type of study that you enjoy because you actually do enjoy it. Another sip of my coffee. And the third point, it doesn't matter how fast it can be the method of learning the language. If you learn the language with shorts, it's just a meme. So as you can see here, this this is just a meme. I don't know how. I don't know if this is real, but like it's just like so crazy that I wanted to like share it with you. Majority of the Americans say social media negatively affect the way things are going in the country today. So basically, as you can see here, U.S. adults, like that is the 64%, I think, 64%, I think it is, basically say that basically say that shorts are bullshit, which is true. 20, basically 25 say that they are not positive nor negative. Basically, these are stupid people that don't have an opinion. And of course, 10% of people, like some people are going to say that shorts are positive because I mean, like, they're just like a minority, right? And yeah, it's just like crazy to see like these things because it's just like, bro, I know for a fact like, that you can learn a language with shorts. I know for a fact that you can learn a language with like Instagram. Yeah, all of this bullshit. Maybe X too. X, it's kind of more healthy, but like in X, you maybe go into X and you watch porn, so like it's not really that healthy too. That healthy too, right? And so, basically, yeah, you can learn languages with everything. You can learn languages even with porn, but like, let me tell you something. Is it worth it to like develop an addiction to social media, worsen your attention span to just learn a language? I don't know if it's worth it for you, but like for me, it is not. Why? Because I already did it. Like I learned, I'm teaching you this because I already went from that mistake. And so in my English, I literally learned with TikTok. And then after 2 years or 1 year and a half of using TikTok, I basically said, okay, right now, I don't have a good attention span. I have the attention span of a fish because literally the average person right now has an attention span of literally less than 7 seconds. Fish attention span. And because I had that attention span because of learning languages with video games, well, video games actually doesn't really worsen your attention span that much. At least if you do it like not interrupting, you don't watch your phone, you don't multitask, you just play the video game for 2 hours. It's not really going to worsen your attention span. But like because of watching TikTok, I couldn't read. Because of watching TikTok, I couldn't practice my speaking for more than 1 hour daily. Why? Because my attention span was just bullshit. And whenever I tried to do some type of real study, some type of a study that actually took effort, I couldn't. It is as simple as that, right? How to study when you don't want to. This is the last point, right? Yeah. How to study when you don't want. Honestly, you shouldn't feel like this, but if you do, you can do one thing. So why I say that you shouldn't feel like this? Because if you combine your intensive study with your more enjoyable study, you will notice that, oh, actually, being productive is fun. And actually, I will tell you something which being productive is not about studying 8 hours, 9 hours. It's about studying like 80%, like studying for the amount of time that will get you 80% to 90% of the results, which usually that is just 4 to 5 hours, right? If you study 4 to 5 hours with really intensive type of study, which is really efficient, and those are the most essential tasks that you can do, believe me, you will get 80% to 90% of the results. And because of that, you will be able to be conversational fluent. You will be able to read most of the things. You will be able to like do almost all of the things that you want to do in the language. Maybe you don't sound native, but like who cares? If you are able to communicate yourself like I'm doing right now in English, like even like I'm able to do it right now in Japanese, right now in Japanese finally, I feel like I am conversational fluent, but like I'm not at the point in which I still like stutter a lot. Well, even in my native language, even in English, I keep stuttering sometimes, but like I stutter more than like I would like to, right? And so if you do the more essential type of task, you will notice, okay, like being productive is actually fun. But like still, that's why I say that you shouldn't feel like this. But if you still don't want to study someday, because it will happen, like yeah, some days it happens to me. Let's be honest. I don't want to study. I don't want to talk in Japanese for 2 hours first thing in the morning. Maybe I don't. Maybe you don't want it. It's fine. But like you can do something which is that okay, if I'm not going to do anything, at least make sure that I just do 10 minutes. After you do 10 minutes, if you are not in the mood of studying already, no, I will say that 20 minutes. If you are not in the mood of studying and you studied for like 20 minutes, at least you can stop in there. But like, I'm pretty sure that you will be in the mood of studying after studying for like at least 20 minutes, and then you can start like doing the hour, the 2 hours, the 3 hours that you had to do. Okay, so make sure that at least if you don't feel like studying, make sure that you do 20 minutes, and that will get you usually in the mood of studying. And after that, you will be able to study for like 2 to 3 hours, right? Usually that is how it works, but like there are some days in which, bro, you really don't want to, okay? Or maybe you really don't have the time. Just do 20 minutes. It's better to not do to do at least 20 minutes than to not do anything and lose the progress, right? So if you want to get faster progress, check the two first link in the descriptions, because if you work with me, you are going to get more faster progress than if you watch just my free videos. And so that's it. Check the first two. Sorry. Subscribe, leave a like if you want more people to know about this. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.